Have you ever made a large investment, felt super excited, really hyped about it, and then after you make that purchase, it starts to set in and you start to question, did I really make the right choice? This is called buyer's remorse, and we, as the sellers of our offers, want to make sure that our customers are processing through these same emotions that you have felt before. With your thing, we want them to process through it as quickly as possible. I've been reading this book with our Geek Out community. It's called Never Lose a Customer Again by Joey Coleman. It's super awesome. Highly recommend it. There's a link in the description if you want to go get it later. But in this book, he says, quote, "The most important thing a business can do to counter feelings of buyer's remorse is to offer ways for a customer to reaffirm their decision as quickly as possible." He talks about that in his chapter all about affirming. He talks about 8 phases of customer experience, and in phase 3, it's all about affirm. And so that's what we want to focus on today. How do we affirm our customer's decision of making that investment with us and being able to move them into being able to take action on what they just purchased and being able to benefit from it? One of the other key concepts in this chapter of the book is the idea of making the required remarkable. I just love this idea because it's taking something that is already kind of industry standard practice and taking it up a level and making it something fun, remarkable, memorable for your customers, and making it just something that they really enjoy and might even go talk about on social or with their friends and their family. So think of a standard to send a thank you email after a purchase is made. But what if you made it fun? And I have an example coming up later in the video of just that. But taking something that is standard, you already have to do it. It's good business practice. It's informational, and making it more interesting, make it more entertaining, make it stick out so people enjoy the experience a little bit more. We're focusing in on that time between when the customer purchases and when it is fulfilled. And they are going through so many emotions during this phase. Joey Coleman, the author of that book, calls this the quiet zone. If there's not a lot of communication happening, they're in their own heads. They're in their own feelings, and their anxiety is increasing, and they're starting to question everything. They're doubting their own decisions. And the best thing that we can do during this time is to just communicate with them and reaffirm, like, you made the right decision. Here's what we're going to be doing together. Here's when this is going to happen. Here's something you could be working on. What are 3 things that are considered standard in the industry of online business? And how can we step them up that level to make it remarkable? Because if we push them into this state of fun and enjoyment, they can't be simultaneously living in this state of fear and doubt. All right, let's start with the thank you page. The industry standard is that there is a thank you page. It exists. Most people underutilize this page though. They use it as a thanks for joining, or you're welcome to the club, or whatever it is. And then there's usually a summary of what they bought. That's typically all that we see across the board. Now, I know a lot of people add in other things, but let's talk about one key thing that you could go add in today that is going to take it from industry standard to remarkable. I suggest go put a video on your thank you page. This video can welcome them, remind them of what they just purchased and why they should be so excited about it. If you can tie in their purchase into the identity that you want them to be taking on when they are coming into your world and working with you, that is going to help so much in reaffirming of, like, they are now going to be reminded of, yes, me buying this thing means that I am becoming this person, or I just took a step and I am this person, whatever the identity is of your community, of your people. For us, for example, it's a geek. When you buy this thing from us, you're a geek. You're actually a geek when you come into our community, but this purchase decision now furthers you into the geekdom. It means this, and this for you. So just remind them why they just purchased and what it actually means on a deeper level of that decision that they just made. You can also remind them of the line items of what's included in what they just purchased. Of course, give them direction on how to go access their purchase if that's the type of product that it is. If it's more of a service type of offer and there's going to be some of your team members involved, this is a great opportunity to introduce your customer to your team members And you can also tell them what steps they need to take next. If you're doing an onboarding call or a kickoff call, this is a great opportunity to let them know in the video that needs to happen, that how the instructions on how to schedule it, which is usually a button below the video on the thank you page, and give them any information that lets them know, not everything, you don't want to overwhelm them, but what their next couple of steps need to be to keep moving forward. We don't want them to get into those feelings of, what have I done? I don't know about this. And the worst thing that can happen is that no communication is happening, and then they start to question your ability or your honesty in being able to deliver that thing. We've all been there where we've purchased something and then it wasn't really communicated with us immediately of how to then go get that thing or access that thing or what happens next. And we start to question, like, did I just get scammed? Right? And we don't want that. The other thing you can put in this video is, should you have any questions, here's how to contact me or my team, and just reiterate your excitement that they have come into your world and leave them on a really high positive note. So number 2 is the thank you email. It is something that we all send to our customers when they have purchased from us. But what if we took it up a notch? So to give you an example, I'm going to read the one out of the book, The Never Lose a Customer Again by Joey Coleman. And there is an example in here in the Phase 3 Affirm chapter about CD Baby, the company. So their thank you email after someone purchased a CD from their website used to say, "Your order has shipped today. Please let us know if it doesn't arrive. Thank you for your business," which is great, standard. There's one thing that they noticed was happening though. By them saying, "Please let us know if it doesn't arrive," they were already planting the seed into their customer's mind that it might not arrive. So they made an adjustment, and not only did they remove that from the email, they made it so much better. So I'm going to read to you their new version of their email, and it goes like this. "Thanks for your order with CD Baby. Your CD has been gently taken from our CD Baby shelves with sterilized, contamination-free gloves and placed onto a satin pillow. A team of 50 employees inspected your CD and polished it to make sure it was in the best possible condition before mailing. Our packing specialist from Japan lit a candle and a hush fell over the crowd as you put your CD into the finest, gold-lined box that money can buy. We all had a wonderful celebration afterwards, and the whole party marched down the street to the post office where the entire town of Portland waved Bon Voyage to your package and on its way to you in our private CD Baby jet on this day. I hope you had a wonderful time shopping at CD Baby. We sure did. Your picture is on our wall as Customer of the Year. We're all exhausted but can't wait for you to come back to cdbaby.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you." That's such a difference, right? Not only have they removed the part about placing the seed of like, it might not arrive, let us know if it doesn't. They turned it into something more fun. Even though it's fictitious, people understand that's not actually happening. That's not how the process works. Just pretending for a moment and going down this imagination of like, what if they were doing this? How fun. It's still conveying the feeling that they care about their customers and they care that the CD arrives to them, and they're taking great care in their processes to make sure that that happens. Now, of course, that doesn't always happen. There's always mishaps that happen, but rather than giving their customers the expectation that it could happen, give them the expectation that everything's going to be great, they're taken care of. So that, again, is taking something that is standard in the industry, the thank you email, and elevating it to create a better customer experience and affirming and removing those fears and affirming that they made the right choice in choosing to buy and invest with you. The last one that I want to talk about is onboarding. So whether you have a low ticket or a high ticket offer, onboarding should be a process or a flow that you are taking your customers through. For a low ticket, it's probably going to be more DIY. You're going to run them through some steps. Maybe they're going to watch some videos. They might have to take some actions to get into a community, but walk them through an onboarding process. If it's more high ticket or a service-based business, you're likely going to get on a call with them, an initial first onboarding call, or we call them kickoff calls, where you're going to be gathering the things that you need to start off correctly, whether that is learning about them and their business, or you're getting login informations for their things if you run in an agency and funnels like we do. But this call or a onboarding process is going to help them take some immediate action. It makes them feel like progress is being made, and it's going to set up the future interactions between what they just purchased and you being able to deliver on that a lot smoother. If you are a high ticket or service based business where it is making sense for you to do a one-on-one call with them, this is also an amazing opportunity for you to, if there is going to be a handoff between the sales and the fulfillment, let's say you have a salesperson but then on the fulfillment side, there's going to be working with you or someone else, or maybe you were the sales and you have to hand them off to somebody else to do a piece of the project or whatever it is. If there's a handoff between people, this call should be where that handoff takes place. You want to be there and be present when you are handing the customer over and off to another person on your team. So that's what this call can be used for as well. Make sure that they have access to what they need, whether you're doing video or a DIY step-by-step walkthrough. And this is just going to help make everybody's lives easier and start to calm those fears and doubts that they made the right decision. These simple yet powerful steps can help take your standard industry, here's these things, to the next level and make it remarkable, make it an experience for them that is going to help them realize, I am working with the right person, I made the right decision, this person understands what I need in the moment right now, so I'm going to be able to trust that they're going to be able to help me through all the way to the end of this commitment. Let's recap. We talked about the thank you page can be more than just a few words and a receipt of their purchase. Let's give them a thank you video. Let's also email what is in that video, and let's make it fun. And then lastly, let's make sure that we are doing some sort of onboarding process to move them from post-purchase into some action so that those fears of self-doubt and questioning their decision in investing with you can get processed and moved through as quickly as possible. If you're tired of hype-driven sales tactics that don't really fit your style of doing business, and you lean more towards the I just want to serve, I just want to help people side of things, then come discover the smart marketing methods to attract your dream customers the way that feels right to you. I want to invite you to come to funnelsforsmartpeople.com to see our next event that's coming up, and we can continue this journey together.